Anna Ukalova, Ukrainian-born IDF spokesperson, she said, the Supreme Leader Khamenei's elimination shows our capabilities are serious. No one who wishes us harm will be left aside. I hope Moscow does not wish Israel ill right now. I'd like to believe that. And today we got this news. An Israeli warplane targeted Russia Today journalist Steve Sweeney in Lebanon.
Reported against Nahariya and admitted.
Insane. Israel carried out one of the most insane attacks I've ever seen today, and it just so happens that two of my friends were targeted. Now, fortunately, thank God they are both still alive, but Steve Sweeney and Ali Rita, who are both journalists, they work for RT. I know Steve Sweeney does, and I think Ali helps out with some stuff and speaking in Arabic and the camera stuff and helping Steve in Lebanon because that's where this attack took place. They were targeted within feet of a massive, massive Israeli airstrike. And if you think for 1 second that this wasn't on purpose, I have got a bridge to sell you because Steve Sweeney, Ali Rita, they're both wearing giant press vests. Their vehicle that they were driving in and standing right next to as they were filming a shoot for the news has press written all over it. It's clearly a press vehicle. The Israelis know this. They monitor everything. They have specifically, strategically taken out journalists all across Gaza. They have been picking off journalists, murdering them, murdering their families, one by one in Gaza. They have done this in Lebanon. In fact, the stories I've heard in Lebanon and how they do this are insane. They're very, very deliberate in taking out journalists. And now it's happened to people that we know here. Steve Sweeney and Ali Rita, I spent time with when I was in Yemen. They both came with me to Yemen. We traveled from to Sana'a. We went to Sana'a. We spent a lot of time together in the mountains of Yemen, and they are both incredible men who are doing incredible work. A lot of work in Lebanon. They did amazing work in Yemen, and I say hats off to them because it goes without saying they're sincerely putting their lives at risk. I don't know. I guess there's been this, this myth, this notion that Russian journalists or Russian associated journalists don't get targeted by Israel, but that is long gone and out the window because earlier this week, we saw a statement from a woman, Anna Ukalova, Ukrainian-born IDF spokesperson. She, does this spokesperson job, as I understand, in Ukrainian and Russian language. She said, the Supreme Leader Khamenei's elimination shows our capabilities are serious. No one who wishes us harm will be left aside. I hope Moscow does not wish Israel ill right now. I'd like to believe that. Now, that is an insane, I would call it, a veiled threat, but really it's not all that veiled. That is insane coming from an official IDF spokesperson speaking in this language in Russian and saying this about Russia, basically saying, look what we did to Ayatollah Khamenei. We took him out with the help of the United States. And oh yeah, by the way, anyone else who has a problem with Israel will meet a similar fate. We have the capability to do that. Moscow, what are your thoughts on Israel? Insane. And just a few days, so that was 2 days ago, and today we got this news. An Israeli warplane targeted Russia Today journalist Steve Sweeney in Lebanon. According to Margarita Simonyon, she said, an IDF plane fired upon the car carrying Steve and his cameraman as they were crossing a bridge in the south of the country. Both men are conscious. In a hospital, doctors are diagnosing the extent of shrapnel damage. And then we actually got a video of exactly what took place because it's insane. Now, I do want to say for, the YouTube community guidelines here, this Steve Sweeney and Ali Rita, they are both alive and well. They are safe and sound. Thank God. This video does not show anything graphic or anything. It's just an explosion. But, I'm sure people will try to report me if we don't make that clear. They'll try to do anything to get this account banned. But no, everyone is okay here now. There were some shrapnel injuries But thank God, they're both alive and well. So take a look at this video. I think I watched this video 100 times today. I literally couldn't even believe this. It's not just that I know Steve and Ollie, but it's a crazy video.
Along the border, including the Al-Marj outpost opposite Merkaba, and carried out drone strikes on the Al-Raheb site near Aitar al-Shab. Further rocket attacks were reported against Nahariya and admitted.
Insane.
Fucking.
That is what you call a targeted strike against journalists. 1,000% targeted strike against journalists. Watch that one more time.
Carried out drone strikes on the Al-Raheb site near Aitar al-Shab. Further rocket attacks were reported against Nahariya and admitted.
Insane. Now, Steve Sweeney, actually, in that video before the bomb went off, was talking about Lebanese resistance operations and what's been going on. They're targeting the military infrastructure, military personnel as they try to invade the south of Lebanon. Obviously, it is a guerrilla war, but a lot of damage is being done. And it just goes to show that as he's talking about the fact that, the Lebanese resistance is exhibiting immense strength in this guerrilla war against the invading and attempting to occupy, IDF troops. What does Israel do? They can't do anything to stop the resistance, so they go fly a plane and bomb journalists. Well, someone is looking out. Someone high above is looking out for Steve Sweeney and Ali Rita. Ali is also, he is safe and sound. He says, we are wearing the official press uniform. The Israeli enemy targeted us deliberately. Yeah, 100%. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman said it was not an accident, and we have called on the international organizations to respond. This is what Steve Sweeney has to say. The brave, the courageous Steve Sweeney, after he was wounded today in an Israeli precision strike.
I guess so. Yeah, well, you've probably all seen the footage of the airstrike that took place in Sur district as we were reporting on the destruction of a bridge. We've been treated in hospital for our injuries. I had a shrapnel wound in my arm, deeply embedded in the muscle here. That's been taken out, and here it is in this pot here. But what I do want to say is that this was a deliberate, targeted attack on journalists. There's no mistake about it. This was an Israeli precision strike from a fighter jet. What we were doing was we were reporting on the attacks on bridges, which is effectively severing South Lebanon from the rest of the country. 1 million people now internally displaced. This is the real story. It's not about us coming under attack as journalists. What we're seeing now and what we were reporting on is this plan for Israel to ethnically cleanse the south of Lebanon. This is without doubt an attack. This is on the scale or bigger than the scale of the Nakba. This is the forced displacement of 1 million people, which remains a war crime. And also we have to say that attacking journalists is a war crime. Attacking civilian infrastructure is a war crime. But if they think that they're going to silence us, if they think that we're going to stay out of the field, they're very, very much mistaken.
God bless Steve Sweeney and Ali Rita doing incredible work. Well, that's what happens when, a state is allowed to just massacre civilians for years on end, and journalists for years on end, doctors for years on end, scientists, politicians, babies, you name it, for years on end. International aid organizations, UN workers, it doesn't matter. They are allowed to assassinate whoever they want, whenever they want to, and it doesn't matter. No one's going to do a thing. No one's going to do a thing about it. Well, I mean, Iran is doing a thing about it, and maybe the Lebanese resistance is doing a thing about it, but none of these international organizations are going to do a thing about it. So the only thing that we can do as journalists is to get the information out there. So go follow Steve Sweeney. Go follow Ali Rita. He's back and forth on TikTok. I don't know I think he's on TikTok now. They ban, unban, this whole thing, but doing incredible reporting about the ethnic cleansing in the south of Lebanon and how Israel's targeting the bridges to south of Lebanon as they prepare to go in and bomb anything that moves in the south. Before you leave, I want to say thank you for the support, because after 2 years of being banned, we are finally back home on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe to our channel and also join as a member on our channel using the link at the top of the description. I rely on the generous support of viewers like yourself to get the truth out to as many people as possible. You can also support the show on Locals or Give Sin Go. The mainstream media and the powers that be are never going to stop attacking us for bringing the truth to as many people as we do. Thank you so much for your support.